Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are looking up at the night sky. But, we're not just stargazing, we're actually unpacking a pretty urgent situation happening right above our heads. We're going to explore this really surprising connection between astrophysics, satellite technology, and how managing the entire cosmos actually teaches us a lot about managing our own backyards.
Part 1. Space Traffic Jam, Orbital Overcrowding. Okay, let's dive into this. Space looks infinite and completely empty, but just outside Earth's atmosphere, we are currently facing a very real, very modern problem.
So 30,000. I just want you to take a moment and let that number really sink in. 30,000. This isn't some rough estimate of distant stars or random asteroids. This is the massive amount of tracked, man-made debris currently floating directly above us. We're talking over 30,000 individual pieces of junk caught in Earth's gravitational pull, just orbiting our planet right this very second. Now you might be wondering, space is unimaginably big, right? So how on Earth, or above Earth, is it experiencing a traffic jam? How does an absolutely boundless cosmos become a dangerously overcrowded highway? Well, the answer lies in what happens when our technology outlives its usefulness.
It turns out this traffic jam is localized in what we call LEO, or low Earth orbit. It is prime real estate up there. Because everybody wants their satellites in that specific zone, it's getting incredibly crowded. And when those satellites die or when rockets discard their booster stages, they just stay up there and become space junk. Because as it turns out, humanity is pretty darn good at littering, even in a total vacuum.
Part 2. Orbital hazards, high-speed debris. This overcrowding isn't just an annoyance anymore. We are now dealing with some severe physical hazards. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer kinetic energy we're dealing with here. 27,000 kilometers per hour. That is the absolutely terrifying speed of this space junk. To put that into perspective, at those velocities, a piece of debris the size of a tiny paint fleck hits with the impact energy of a bullet. It's a completely different scale of physics compared to anything we experience down here on the ground.
Because these objects are moving at 27,000 kilometers per hour, if two dead satellites or random pieces of debris happen to collide, they don't just bump into each other and bounce off, they utterly shatter. A single collision instantly multiplies into thousands of tiny pieces of high-velocity shrapnel. It is a terrifying domino effect, where one single accident breeds thousands of new, completely untrackable and frankly lethal threats.
This creates what we call a cascading threat. So why does this matter to you and me? Well, first off, this shrapnel can easily destroy the active satellites we rely on every single day for things like GPS, weather tracking, and basic communication. And second, if our orbital highway is full of high-speed bullets, we literally can't safely launch future missions. It could potentially trap us right here on Earth.
Part 3. The 5-year rule, deorbiting satellites. Fortunately, it's not all doom and gloom. The international community is actively fighting back with structural solutions and some much-needed rules of the road.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how we're tackling the problem. The core solution is known as the 5-year rule, and it works in 3 straightforward steps. First, we adopt shared international standards. Second, we formally recognize when a satellite has actually reached the end of its useful mission. And third, we actively deorbit it within 5 years so it safely burns up in Earth's atmosphere. It's a really clear, macro-level solution to clean up our space trash.
This entire regulatory framework is built on a very specific overarching philosophy, the idea that responsible stewardship is absolutely essential for preserving shared domains. Nobody owns low Earth orbit, right? Which means everybody is responsible for it. To guarantee the long-term sustainability of space exploration, we have to behave like responsible stewards of that shared environment.
Part 4. Stewardship of the stars. We've talked a lot about international space law and orbital mechanics, but this concept actually hits much closer to home, transitioning perfectly from global regulation to personal accountability.
So the crucial point is that mitigating these risks up in the cosmos requires the exact same mindset as taking care of our shared spaces right here on Earth. On one hand, failing to clean up space leads to these incredibly hazardous zones, but on the other hand, we have our own terrestrial environment. The scale is vastly different, obviously, but the fundamental behavior, it's completely identical.
It really all boils down to this perfectly stated quote: accountability means taking responsibility for your mess. It's a core life skill. Whether you're an aerospace engineer launching a multi-million-dollar satellite, or just a person sharing a community park, a workplace, or a home, the requirement is exactly the same.
You just have to manage the spaces you share with others.
Which leaves us with this final thought. We know that to ensure the future of space exploration, we absolutely must keep our orbits clean. The science literally demands it. But looking around your own life, your own shared domains, how will you take accountability for your environment right here on Earth? The stars remind us that everything is connected, and being a good steward of the universe starts exactly where you are standing right now.